you in another episode. Today we have something very exciting to talk about. We're going to be dealing with 6 secrets to becoming or being effective. This is Itu from Expanded Fires, and you're listening to Boom Nation. So let's get it started. Yeah, that's right. Okay, good. So, what are we going to talk about? That's right. We're going to talk about, here you go, 6 secrets for being effective. This is very important for you and your business. So, pay attention. All right. First of all, why would you want to be effective? All right. Well, imagine that it's almost like it's almost like a rhetorical question, but imagine that there's so much you need to do in order to expand your business that you cannot um, give yourself any chance of not succeeding every day at hitting your targets. Like every single day needs to be productive. You need to have a game to keep your spirits up, correct? All right. So why do you want to be effective? Well, being effective is the best way to make sure that you move forward, and you want to keep moving forward every single day. Isn't it amazing when you go back home after the end of the work schedule and you feel like you actually did something, that you accomplished something? It's an amazing feeling. And I'm sure there have been days where you just go back home and you're all tired. You don't want to talk to your wife or girlfriend or family, and you're just bummed. But compare that to the days where you actually arrive back home feeling that you did something that was good, something that was, valuable, something that you can feel proud of. And, it almost makes you feel that there is hope for a better tomorrow. Mhm. That's why being effective is actually very important, even if you're just considering your mental state, not to mention everything that it does for you and growing your business. So, you want to know these secrets that we bring for you? Check it out. We're going to talk about what is effective. To begin with, we have to understand or define the word in itself. So, what would be being effective? Well, effective actually means that you get something done at the quality level that it needs to have, and you do it with the less amount of time and resources wasted or spent. That's right. So, whatever you need to do, you do it at the level at the level of quality that it needs to be at, in the expected time that you wanted it to be or less, and with less waste of resources. That's what being effective would mean. Something very important to keep in mind every single day, not just for you, but also for your employees. Because if they're not as effective as you are, obviously there's either time or resources being wasted, and you're just not making as much production as you should be, and that will directly affect your growth. And we want you to expand fast and be strong as a business. So let's see what's next. What impact will it have in your business? Obviously, imagine if every single employee, just right now, every single person working in your business or company, imagine if they were 50% more effective than they were yesterday. How much work do you think that would represent? How much gain would that represent for your business? Imagine yourself being 50% better at doing whatever you're doing, whatever, on running your business, on doing the task at hand that you need to do, on being a better marketer for yourself. Just, that in the end, that means, that's right. And we all want this. We all want a bit more money. for different reasons. So, being effective and everybody else being more effective at work, it just represents a faster growth for your business. And that's what we want to give you. All right. Now, here's the point. Tip number one, the first thing you will want to do is outline and visualize what needs to get done. That's right. That is the first secret for being effective. You don't want to like throw yourself into action without actually first visualizing what you need to do. And the second secret would be visualize what it's going to take to actually get it done and what are the barriers that you may be hitting against. Because if you prepare yourself mentally for everything that needs to get done and what problems am I going to run into, then you're better prepared to deal with them. You get less surprises, and that means less wasted resources and time because you're walking into battle, let's say, more prepared. And that is super valuable to you at the moment that you're in action trying to get the job done. Now, here's secret number three. Are you ready? Okay. Prepare for battle. That's right. Prepare for battle physically, time wise, logistically. There was a story that I learned this actually from watching a carpenter. A good friend of mine was a carpenter, and he helped me to put together a building, a closet for my room. And funny how you learn valuable lessons from just watching somebody at work that is good at doing something. This guy was an expert carpenter, and he, building this closet was nothing to him. It was almost like downtime for him. But he was a good friend of mine, so he came over, and this is the thing. He took about an hour to just assemble this big wooden closet, having to drill it to my wall and everything. And from the hour that I helped him a little bit. Let's say we build it, just to boost my ego. From the hour that we spent actually building the closet hands on, first he spent about 20 minutes preparing and planning. He looked at the pieces, he looked at the screwdrivers and the screws that he needed and all the material that he had at hand, and he decided that whether he needed this or that other thing, and he sketched it out how it was going to look, size things up against the wall, etc. Just to have a layout of everything he was going to need before he started working at it. And that saved us a lot of time because, honest to God, once we got down to business in regards to building this thing, it was really big. I bet it would have taken at least twice, if not more time, twice as much or more, if I hadn't, helped him prepare for battle. And that's where that was the moment when he told me the first thing you need to do in order to produce a high quality product is prepare. The amount of time that it takes you to analyze and prepare what is actually going to be needed for producing makes a world of difference when you get down to actually doing it. So that's the third secret. Prepare for battle. Time-wise, physically too. Imagine, okay, it's very important to make sure that you're physically ready for battle because sometimes there's just stuff that you need. If you know that you have a task that is going to take you an hour or two to get through, and you're gonna have to stop in the middle of it and go eat because you didn't have breakfast or something stupid like that. It's just, it's just not effective. If you need, like I said, logistically, you need to be ready as well. Like there's, if you already know there are going to be things that you need in order to be productive without, breaks, or without having to waste time going out looking for, I don't know, paper for the copy machine, or finding out the last, I don't know, things that you were going to put in the menu if you run a restaurant or something like that. Imagine if you had to stop every 15 minutes to get something that you could have prepared and have ready for the time when you were actually putting all of this together. So, and it's obviously valuable. Now, time wise, okay, it's the same thing. I mean, if let's say now that we are sometimes still working from home, imagine if you try to get some work done at the same time that you were taking care of your kids. Obviously, that's just not gonna happen. If you know that you need a certain amount of time in order to get your task completed, start it, move along, and then complete it, and somebody interrupts you continuously in the middle of that, or you have to run off to some meeting that you already knew you had scheduled, you have to be taking that into account, because you think, okay, it's only going to be half an hour. No, it's not going to be half an hour, because you already know that it actually takes longer. If you stop what you're doing, go do something else, your mind just goes adrift. And then by the time you get back, between going to the bathroom, maybe getting a snack, talking to other people, getting interrupted, getting pulled off because some emergency happening over there that wasn't really an emergency to begin with, all that adds up. And the 30 minutes you thought was going to take you to go away and come back actually might turn into an hour, hour and a half, and all that is wasted time. Now, obviously, it's sometimes you're going to get interrupted, sometimes you're going to get pulled up, sometimes you're going to have to stop and go handle something else and come back. But in order to be efficient, as efficient as possible, there's no harm in planning ahead, time wise, what's it really gonna take, and try to, most of the times, just dedicate yourself to it without breaks or interruptions, and you'll notice there's a big change in how much work you can actually get done if you follow these few steps. What's next? Let's see. Secret number 4 that will bring you for free, by the way. Stay organized. Don't disperse. Don't put off things for later. Find a place for everything and everything in its place. This is a really, really important one. I mean, it's so obvious that everybody knows it, but I'll tell you something. I continuously find people that violate this thing. They're not organized. They can't find an eraser, a pen, a USB drive, their headphones, the document that they needed. They thought they left it, where it was supposed to be, and now it's apparently gone. They think somebody stole it or something like that. It's just, it can get really, really bad to the point that something that was going to take you 15 minutes is actually taking way longer than that, just because you're not being organized. So, first of all, don't disperse. Okay, it's actually something that it falls into the category of being organized. If you're working on something, work on that while you're working on it. Don't try to multitask so much that you end up not doing any of the things that you are trying to do. Just get down to doing something and actually do it. And don't go searching for unnecessary things on Google, checking your Facebook or any other things. It's just, sit there, dedicate yourself to the task, and do not wander off to anything that is not absolutely necessary. Don't put off things for later. Okay, this is one that happens, you know, a lot, and is actually gets to the point of being something that is shameful. Um, how many times have you, in the middle of working, with something that you need to deal with, you kind of go, I'll just handle that later. And a day goes by, 2 days go by, and then suddenly it hits you in the face that, oh my God, you actually thought you had already done that, or you just completely forgot about it, and now you need to do it in a rush or whatever, right? When you could have just handled it to begin with, when you encounter that thing that you need to handle. A lot of the times, employees or business owners find themselves having to deal with stuff that they should have handled before. So the tip and trick is, if you hit something like a barrier, an obstacle, or a task that you need to handle, if it's going to take you 15 minutes, if it's going to take you an hour, you handle it now. Don't put off things for later. That's a way of becoming more and more effective. Find a place for everything, and everything in its place. I already spoke about this. Um, it's amazing how just not being organized with the tools and material that you need, or even with your files in the computer, leads to so much wasted time. And that is not what you want. You want to be more and more effective, because think about it, you are a leader, you're somebody that people are actually looking at as an example. And the best way to give the best of you is by not wasting time on silly things like, I can't find my stapler. I don't know where I put, the last USB drive that I use, where I have all of my important data, whatever. So just, open your drawer, look at your desk, uh, see your file cabinet, and just get it organized. Assign a place for everything, and just make sure you return it to that place. It's almost silly to talk about this, but honest to God, this happens so much that is, oh my God, worth mentioning it. All right. Now, are you ready for the next one? Set time targets for work activities and push to meet them. All right. This is also very, very important, and it's very valuable, because if you have you ever sat down and say, "Oh, I'm going to do this in half an hour," and then you end up taking 2 hours to do it? Don't lie to me. We've all done it. That's okay. Okay, so here's the trick. It's as easy as saying, okay, I'm going to give myself 15 minutes to do this thing. Mhm. I'm going to give myself an hour to create the design that I need, or whatever you're doing. Uh-huh. And just, time yourself at it. It's almost like playing a game with yourself. This game that you are playing with yourself is actually making you more effective, and it creates a self discipline of just, hitting your targets, getting more things done in less time. And it closes the door on getting dispersed doing other things that were not of any value, like, you know I don't know, going to the store or whatever, checking something on Google, um, finding the right music in YouTube to get yourself inspired. It's like none of these things are going to contribute to finishing your task in time. So don't get dispersed. Set yourself timed targets and meet them no matter what. Actually, this will probably be one of the best advices. Uh, One of the very valuable advice that I could give you is just, time yourself, and don't be a pussy. Get it done. Get it done on time. All right. And our next one, number six of the six secrets that we're going to give you today for being more effective. Don't do someone else's work. Either delegate, teach, or replace. All right. Sometimes, as a business owner, um, you're just being too friendly. You see somebody else that needs help on something, and they try to give you their work basically. Because you can do it better, because you're more familiarized, because you're just a good business owner that takes care of their employees or something, or you just, I would rather do it myself than watching this guy waste all the time in the world trying to do it. And it gets frustrating when other people can't do their own job. But the solution is not to do everything for them or just get tired of them taking so long. The solution is to teach them how to do it correctly. Because just think about it, if it's going to take you 2 hours to do somebody else's job, why don't you spend 2 hours on teaching them how to do it themselves? Uh-huh. Those 2 hours are actually going to multiply by production being done by whoever is supposed to actually do it. Because if you teach him correctly by having him do it and you directing him, correcting him, encouraging him, it's actually going to, at the end of the day, maybe it takes you more than a day, but whatever. At the end of the day, the end result is going to be now here is someone that is not going to bother me again with the same task to be done because he now knows how to do it because I made sure he knew how to do it whenever he needed it. So those 2 hours were actually spent very wisely. If you can't if you can't teach him, then if like you tried and tried and tried again with your best intentions, your best dedication, and this guy is actually incapable of doing this task, find somebody else that can actually do it. You need people that are effective and that can actually get the work done. Don't keep people around that are not being of service. Doesn't matter how much you like them, or if they're your cousin or your friend. It's like business is business. You need people that are actually going to respond with products. So don't do somebody else's work. um if just delegate. It's like you got all this work that you need to do, but you'll find out that you're actually doing a lot of other post activities. If somebody else should be doing a lot of the stuff that you're actually spending all this valuable time of yours as a business owner doing, and find who's supposed to do that and just delegate it and then teach him. And if you can't teach him, I'm sorry, my friend, but this is a business. Don't mix it up with other things. We came here to succeed, not babysit everybody. All right, and I'm gonna give you one last tip, one last secret, just because I like you so much. How's that? Okay, good. Stay positive. That's right. Staying positive is part of being effective. Why? I'll tell you why. Um, it's just really simple. If you hit when you're trying to get something accomplished or done, there's always going to be barriers. Always. Okay, nothing is easy because you can picture it in your head as something. Oh yeah, very very easy. I'll just get it done. Once you get down to it, you'll find there's all sorts of obstacles. There's time, there's logistics, there's barriers, there's other people interrupting, and there's just all sorts of problems, financial problems, whatever. Okay, so just take into account that there's always a little barrier. There's something that's going to come along to try to block you, impede you, stop you, refrain you from getting things done in the amount of time that you want it. So the thing to do is to one, take it into consideration, two, expect it, and so you don't get surprised, And three, remember that it's not important, all the things that you had to go through in order to get it done. The only thing that matters is getting it done correctly, at the quality that you need it, in the expected time that you want it. That's the only thing that matters. Uh-huh. So just to stay positive and don't don't be so grumpy when you're trying to deal with stuff. Just handle it. Who cares about your emotions? Emotions is not gonna get you through whatever you need to do in order to get a product. So don't sit there just barking at your computer or barking at your employees or just being pissed. Just shut up and get the work done and stay positive. Like, yes, you're gonna get through. Yes, this is the best thing that you're gonna do. This is the activity that you are doing. So just get a product, a high quality product. Just give it your best at whatever you're doing. And that's one way that you can actually stay positive. I hope this helps you a lot. It was actually, very good to give you this information. Use it, review it, coach yourself through it until you become an expert at following these secrets. And remember, you can always find us at expandthefires.com and find out everything that we can do for you and all the help that we can give you, because we want to make you grow your business the way you want it as fast as possible. Stay tuned at Boom Nation for more tips and trips on how to reach your target and make your dream come true. See you on the next one.